Here's what you should know about your local housing market in this week's Market Update. We are continuing to see a strong seller's market. Don't be fooled by those national statistics that are showing a significant increase in days on market and a significant decline in home prices. While we are seeing that in more southern states that are having more homes being built and more homes coming on the market with sellers dealing with things like insurance issues with recent storms, hurricanes, and floods, as well as additional condo regulations, as well as competing with new homes. Locally, we are still seeing, while we are seeing a slight decrease over this time last year of buyer activity, home buyer activity still substantially outpaces supply, which is causing these bidding wars in homes still rising and selling substantially above the list price. One thing that I have been hearing more people talk about this week is price reductions. It does seem that we are seeing more price reductions locally than we have seen in a long time. Now, there could be two reasons for price reductions. Number one could be a sign that these homes were priced according to recent comparable sales appropriately, and that since they worked out their pricing and came on the market has declined, and now these home prices are having to be adjusted to meet the declining home prices. That's one reason that it could be a potential reason. However, reason number two, which I think is more likely than not, is simply that more of these homes are being inaccurately priced to begin with. Now, why could that be the case? Well, we are seeing slower than last year and the previous year's buyer activity. So while the demand is really strong, with decreased demand over prior years, where we're seeing, let's say, 3 to 5 offers on most homes rather than 10 to 20 offers last year, the year before, and the year before that, certain factors are coming back into play that really kind of were not so much of a thing in the past few years. Things like condition of the home, location, homes that are on busy roads that back up to power lines, homes that needs a substantial amount of work. In the past few years, the frenzy was so strong that some of these factors that historically negatively impacted a home's value and saleability are coming back into play. Another big factor I'm seeing, it seems as though more of the homes that are coming on the market lately are newer agents that we haven't heard of, or agents from out of the area. So that's an interesting factor as well. So with that happening, I am not surprised to see more mistakes in pricing. It is harder to price a home when, number one, you are not used to pricing a home. You don't have a lot of experience in that. But number two, when you're not familiar with the area, a lot of these nuances are hard to understand when you're not familiar with the area that you're selling the home in. So these, I think, are the primary factors of why we're seeing some of the price reductions. And so it will be interesting to see if this trend continues. And we will keep track of that and keep you up to date. So that being said, let's get into the stats this week for your local housing market. These are stats for Morristown, Chatham, Madison, Harding, Mars Plains, Mendham, Chester, Bernardsville, Basking Ridge, and Randolph. We saw 87 homes come on the market this past week. That's a 28% increase from the prior week. The most number of homes came on the market in Basking Ridge with 21, and second place in Morristown and Township with 18. 68 of these homes were single-family houses, and 19 of them were condos or townhouses. The average list price of these homes was $1,203,000, and the highest average list price was in Bernardsville with $1,900,000. Total inventory is up 18% over last week, with 278 homes actively on the market. Homes sold, we saw 50 homes sell this past week. That is a 257% increase over last week. Some of that might have been residual of slower schedule of closings during Easter and Passover and spring break weeks. But that is interesting to see. Average list price of these homes was $1,073,000, and the average sale price was $1,171,000. So this past week, we saw homes sell for an average of 9.8% above list price in these towns. Now, in Mendham, homes sold just 0.3% above list price. However, in Mars Plains, homes sold for 26% above list price. Chatham, they sold 22% above list price. And Madison, they sold 15.5% above list price. And in between, we saw homes sell typically for 2 to 6% above list price. Ooh, and some in the 9s. So we are seeing most of these towns, homes are selling substantially above list price. So let's see if that trend continues as we get further into spring and closer into summer. Average days on market for these sales was 28 days on market, just a 1% increase over the prior week. And then under contract, we saw 37 homes go under contract this past week at an average list price of $1,053,000. So thanks so much for checking in with me. We will keep track of these market trends and keep you up to date on them. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys again soon.